welcome back. Will Worsham joins us now for this week's Speaking Legal discussion.
Hello,
Thanks for
Will.
coming in,
Hello.
as always. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is going to be a tough one.
Okie doke.
Okay.
Okay. I hired a well-known local personal injury firm for my car wreck case. They want me to settle, but I think the offer is too low. I've told them this, but they are pressuring me, and I don't know what to do. Okay,
Interesting.
Will.
I like that one.
Yeah, you know, that's tricky because you want to listen to what your lawyer has to say. I mean, that's what you hired him, was for good advice.
Right.
The first thing I would do is just go to them and ask them if it's okay if you go get a second opinion.
Okay.
And then take it to another lawyer. If you can find another lawyer that'll give you a second opinion. We would probably do that at our place.
Yeah.
We'd be happy to do that.
Oh,
What would be some reasons why they would want to settle? Do they think the evidence isn't enough to?
Well, that could be part of it. You know, something that kind of begs the question here is, and I've had this question sent to me, well, personally as well, is, you know, you've got these big personal injury law firms, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. And like, well, isn't there then, if there's a cash flow issue with the firm, there can be some financial pressure to the law firm wanting to settle your case because they need to get paid. So while there's a real advantage to having an attorney that focuses their work in one single area because they've got a lot of expertise there, sometimes that could backfire just a little bit if there's an issue now with a big firm like what we're probably dealing with here. That I doubt that that's the case that's going on. But like with our firm, we have different lawyers that are all focused in different areas, but we have cases that pay us on a weekly basis, you know, family law cases. We've got criminal cases that pay us when they come in. And so our personal injury cases, we're not dependent on that settlement in order for our cash flow to go through. That's the benefit of someplace like ours that offers an array of services.
But it takes a while for all the bills to pile up to see really to add everything up. And
Yes.
sometimes maybe that doesn't add up to what you think it's going to.
It does, and you know, a lot of times there's misperceptions about what you think your case is worth versus what your attorney may think it's worth. You may not have a good bead on that.
Yeah.
It can make a big difference on what firm you hire. If a law firm doesn't have a reputation for going to trial, if they're not trial attorneys, then it's possible the insurance company may know that and say, there's never going to be a lawsuit out of this, and they may not make you an offer they would make. Whereas if they know there's a real threat of having to go to trial on this case. From if you're represented by a firm that's known for litigating cases, that's trying cases. So when you choose your lawyer, you want to make sure you're getting one that maybe has a reputation for
I say, good idea to do your own due diligence.
Always do your research.
You know, and you don't just walk in because somebody has a shingle up. Do your research ahead of
Absolutely,
time.
yeah. There's nothing other than the bar exam that prevents anybody from opening an office, and we all know the experience that you get practicing law has a whole lot to do with your ability to be successful down the road. Whether you're just giving the right advice because you've been down that road or knowing what the right move is to make going forward. But in a case like this, when we're questioning about the settlement offer, I mean, I obviously can't just ballpark what a settlement should be. But if you really feel it's significantly low, then yeah, you really need to have, first of all, a good conversation with your own lawyer about that and let them explain to you why they think it's the right answer and why you should settle. If it rings true with you, then okay. But if you leave there with some questions, it may be time to look around and seek some second opinions on something about it.
Well, I mean, that makes sense because at least then you get more information if you are going for a second opinion. So that second opinion isn't starting totally from scratch.
Sure, absolutely.
I mean, at least they can give you a valued kind of opinion.
Well, and occasionally, you know, we'll deal with clients, and they'll have just this idea in their head of this is what I think my case is worth. But you know, more goes to it than what you think it's worth.
Right.
You actually have to sit down and look like what were the medical expenses, what was your temporary injury, damages, pain, and suffering, what if any long-term suffering is going into this? Is there something that's going to go on for the rest of your life that's going to affect this, and all that affects that. The problem is, you know, we hear on the news or on Facebook or Twitter or whatever about these huge awards, and everybody with an injury case is like, why not me? Well, it's not you. It might be you, but it's probably not you. And we need to look in that situation and see why that happened. But it's obviously the big out of the norm cases that are going to get the attention from social media and other places.
People are wanting the big payoff, and that's not always the case.
Not always. Sometimes it is.
People want more information from you. How do they get it, Will?
Sure. Well, they can send us an email here at the station, wworsham@color10.com, or my website, www.willworshamlaw.com.
Thanks,
simple.
Will.
Try to make it simple.
Thanks, Will.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Good
Thank
to see
you.
you.
All right, coming up, John Penny is here to tell us about a special event he's going to be a part of this weekend, so don't go away.